Welcome back to Chamber Exchange, the TV show, our final segment. Again, want to thank the sponsors that help make the show happen, the Worcester Railers Hockey Club, who are on the road as we speak, but had a great winning streak of victories at the DCU Center, and look forward to them coming home and continuing that great hockey. I want to thank Bank Hometown. Again, they support the show for their support and helping make it happen. And as I mentioned on this final segment, we have Emily McCann, who's the Vice President of Community Engagement at the United Way of Central Massachusetts. Welcome.
Thank you, Tim. So glad to be here.
Yeah, and Tim Jaegle from the Worcester Community Action Council, who runs the VITA site manager, and we're going to get into what that's all about. 2022 begins. One of the things in that first quarter, at least until mid-April, people have to start thinking about is tax season. And that's a bit of work, but it's also some opportunities for people that, especially people that are working on how to access a great program that the federal government and the state government runs called the Earned Income Tax Credit, which helps families and individuals and pumps money back into our economy. The United Way of Central Mass kind of leads a coalition, and Emily, maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The Worcester Free Tax Service Coalition has been around for nearly 20 years now, and it's an amazing group of partners, including the Worcester Community Action Council, that are operating the IRS's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, which we like to call VITA, right here in our Worcester community. And it is a federally funded program, also funded and supported by the City of Worcester, to make tax preparation and access to tax credits more accessible to people who need them, particularly low-income families and individuals. They get a sense to learn about tax credits they might be eligible for, they didn't know about, such as you mentioned, Earned Income Tax Credit. There are family dependent care credits. There are even credits for seniors. And this program, this coalition, goes beyond taxes and tax preparation. It's really about helping families to get back money that they've earned and help put it back in their pockets, to pay off debts, to save for that house they've always been wanting or that car. And ultimately those funds go back right into our Worcester community.
Yeah, and just some of the stories over the years of people who were not aware, they're working, trying to pay the the rent, the bills, and through this program learn that there are some of these tax credits that reward work and support families in kind of unique situations, and it's a godsend.
Absolutely.
And Tim, so you get to do some of that work.
No, it's a real pleasure doing that, and it's really a good time. If we have people that haven't filed taxes in years and so on, and it's really a good time, especially now, to do that because the government has really expanded those credits, not only the Earned Income Tax Credit, but also the Child Tax Credit and the Child Independent Care Credit. But they've expanded it so the amount of money that people could be eligible for, and it's really quite a bit from the past. So it's a great time to file taxes.
And so this coalition provides assistance at various locations on how to do that, and certainly over the last couple of years amidst COVID, probably challenging.
Exactly.
Just to survive and move around, never mind kind of get help on taxes, but you plowed through that. How can people get assistance? Where can they go?
There's four, in the coalition, there's 4 different sites, and if you don't mind, I can mention, we have, I'm involved with the Worcester Community Action Council, which is on Main Street in Worcester, but we also have Plumley Village Apartment Complex, Maine South Community Development Corporation, and Worcester State University all have the same program, the VITA program, and so there's contacts at each of those locations to do it, and some of it is in person, and we also have a fully remote, 100% remote opportunity where people can just go online and prepare their forms, submit their forms, use their smartphone, and submit forms and work with us, and we'll help them file their taxes that way.
And there are people that are trained that you work with to help them through this process?
That's what makes this program so great, is it's really volunteer based, and it's our community that are helping. So we have volunteers at all these sites that are IRS certified and locally trained by the coalition to be operating on these sites and doing the tax preparation, the interaction with taxpayers to help them identify what credits they're eligible for and to do the filing. And they come from local financial institutions and businesses, people who are really passionate about helping others or giving back their financial skills to others. And we also have quite a number of students from local colleges and universities, Worcester State, Assumption University, and Quinsigamond Community College students who use this as an opportunity for credit and learning to be an accountant, but also volunteer their time to make the program happen.
And that's great. And how many participants? How many volunteers?
We have well over 50 to 100 volunteers every year that get trained, and always looking for new recruits every year as well. So we always do a lot of training at the start of right before the tax season to get some new folks in.
And probably for those students saying and putting on a resume that they're IRS certified sounds pretty good.
Exactly. And we do have some, if I could add to that, some of the volunteers, besides the students, and we're so grateful for Emily and support of United Way, but we have many volunteers who are, that's how I got involved personally. I was, towards the end of my career, my other career, and volunteered, and we have many volunteers who are like that, whether they're retired or working another job, and they do this on the side time, and some people have done this for years and years and years. We have many new ones every year, but I'm always grateful, and I know all the leaders of the different organizations are always grateful to get people who have done this before and the returning volunteers. But it's just a great opportunity for we're always looking for volunteers, but it's a great, you really feel like you're making a real difference in someone's life, when you especially when people often get a very good refund in the process.
Right. I mean, I remember one story of mom telling me what it meant just to be able to get their daughter braces, with that and that type of thing. So the stories really are compelling.
Exactly.
But this is kind of a focus of a work of both organizations, the United Way and the Worcester Community Action Council. I mean, there's a lot of data and information that when you can arm young people at a young age about ideas and concepts of financial literacy, when you can work with families and give them that understanding on an ability to kind of do that, you transform lives and create opportunities that they probably didn't realize existed for them.
Absolutely. This program might be an entryway for some of these individuals to learn about other programs that Worcester Community Action Council and our other partners offer throughout the year for helping them with their financial health, their planning, and helping them to get the goals that they're looking for. So this is beyond the tax season.
Right. And you mentioned down payment on a house. Again, a similar story that somebody with their refund then got information about some of the programs that exist at the state level, mass housing, to help people who may be at the lower end of the economic scale who are working. There are first-time homebuyer programs and things that help people. So this was a stepping stone towards getting information and ultimately buying a home.
Exactly. Yeah, it has real ripple effects and is very impactful.
So,
and just a real practical example of that too. Everybody's familiar with the economic impact payment or the stimulus checks. We call them the stimulus checks, but they were generated based upon people's tax returns that were filed in previous years. And this is a good practical thing. If someone didn't get their last one, for example, the third one, which was $1,400 for almost everybody. How do you get that now? You get that by filing your taxes now. But then if many of the government opportunities in the future, things that come up, maybe something like this might come up in the future or something like that, the government will use tax filings in order to generate that, to stimulate that. So it's a good practical way to do it.
So just if someone wants to go online, where can they go?
They can find all of our information together at the UnitedWayCM.org website. We have it right on a banner where you can access how to contact and file either virtually or connect with somebody in person at any of the sites. And we would love to see, we supported over 2,000 tax returns last year. We'd love to see that number increase this year. So really would love to have as many people check it out and see if they're eligible and could get support through this program.
Great. Emily McCann, Vice President of Community Engagement of the United Way of Central Mass, and Tim Jaegle, the Worcester Community Action Council VITA Site Manager. Thank you for being with us, and thank you for joining us on this edition of Chamber Exchange, the TV show.